Mina Kim, this started off as a rather limited investigation. We're now looking at a whole year's worth of beef processed at this plant being recalled. What's the latest on this USDA investigation and a potential impact of it?
So, right, this recall of nearly 9 million pounds of beef happened about 3 weeks ago when a Petaluma Slaughterhouse, Rancho Feeding Corporation, said that it would need to recall this amount of beef that had been processed over the course of an entire year, as you said, because USDA officials said that diseased animals may have been processed at this plant. But that sparked a lot of questions because by law, USDA inspectors are supposed to be there whenever any processing is taking place. So how is it possible that diseased animals move through this facility without the required inspection? Now, earlier this week, the Press Democrat reported that an inspector actually tried to flag problems at the USDA plant and was ignored. We talked with USDA inspectors. They wouldn't say much about the investigation, but they did send us a statement saying that they believe rancho owners, they're investigating rancho owners for possibly circumventing inspections, and that they don't feel that this recall in any way reflects any failures on USDA's part.
But of course, we don't know the results of the investigation quite yet.
Right, it's ongoing.
So the Rancho Slaughterhouse is shut down. And so what impact is that having on ranchers, especially those in Northern California?
This is the only slaughterhouse in the San Francisco Bay Area. So that means ranchers right now are driving either to Eureka, they're driving to Los Banos to get their meat processed.
So they're going with live cattle?
Yes, and it takes hours. So that is not an insignificant cost. And then when you couple that with the drought, they're actually being hit with feeding costs because there isn't enough rain to grow their own grass, for example. They're getting hit on many sides. The other way that these ranchers are being hit is that some of them have meat tied up in this recall that they processed at the plant during 2013 that they have frozen and we're hoping to sell.
Now, no one has gotten sick that we know of because of meat processed at this plant. So why is it being held back or recalled, and where is it?
Well, I spoke with Bill Nyman, who is one of the few people who has about 100,000 pounds of beef in cold storage. And he's hoping to get that meat released. He's talking with the USDA about how the procedures that his company uses to slaughter their cattle make it impossible for it to have commingled with other meat at the facility. But most of it is not in cold storage. Most of it has already been consumed because it was processed over the course of a year. And of course, if people have products, there is actually a partial list on KQED's website on our NewsFix blog of products that are being recalled. If they have those products, they can take them back to the store where they bought them and get a refund.
Now, you mentioned Bill Nyman. That's a grass-fed operation, high-end. Many of the best restaurants in the Bay Area and grocery stores sell that meat. What does it do to them and the reputation that they've developed over all these years?
Well, they're hoping to secure their reputation by getting their meat released from the recall actively with the USDA. They're working with them to try to do that, but they could take up to a $400,000 hit if they can't get this meat sold during the course of this year. Now, interestingly, rancho owners are not saying much, but one thing that an attorney for a rancho owner has come out and said is that they can guarantee that Nyman's beef is okay.
Yeah, and so they're hoping that that gets resolved. Now, Rancho, as we said, is shut down, and there is a local buyer, Marin Sun Farms, which is trying to purchase the slaughterhouse. What would it mean? Who are they? Tell us a little bit about them, and what would it mean for them to take over?
Well, Marin Sun Farms is a local Bay Area purveyor of high-end meats, and what it would mean if they do successfully buy this plant, which I think the process is going well, is that they're going to be able to provide local ranchers who rely on the slaughterhouse for their business a means to continue their business and thrive. The other thing that Marin Sun Farms has is that it has a facility where you can cut and wrap the meat and get it ready for sale, and it has a very robust distribution chain. So presumably, if Marin Sun Farms takes over, ranchers who use their facilities will be able to get their high-end meat to market, to restaurants, to stores faster, and maybe even more affordably as well.
So, in fact, in the end, it could be a very happy resolution, at least from the point of view of these ranchers.
Yeah, I guess if you're looking for a silver lining for this story, that's it.
Yeah. In the meantime, vegetarianism looks pretty good.
For some.
Okay. Mina Kim, thanks so much.
Thank you.